Network, the Women Are Worthy show. I am so glad you're here with me. Today is a wonderful day. Now, I'm your host, Jacqueline Charles. Welcome again to the Women Are Worthy Network. Now, check this out. And I mentioned this on social media. You meet a beautiful spirit that matches up with you. You then become sister friends. Your sister friend calls you and tells you she has cancer. What do you do? What do you say? Because oftentimes when we hear the diagnosis of someone, we don't know what to say. How do we have conversations with them? So today we have a beautiful, beautiful spirit by the name of Vernitta Rose Love. Again, her name is Vernitta Rose Love. She's the founder, president, CEO, on and on and on of BNRAC, right? We're going to talk about exactly what that means. And when I tell you this woman is, okay, let me give you a little brief, let me just tell you a little something about this. She decided in honor of her friend, she was going to start, a resource for women who have cancer. She wants to help educate people. Not only that, she decided to shave her head, go bald. Now, we always talk about our hair is our glory, crowning glory. She's dispelling myths right now and right here, dispelling all myths. And when I tell you, Vernitta, when I say you fly, you are fly, girlfriend. You are fly. You hear me? I don't know how you doing it because look, when I was interviewing you, I tried to see what I would look like with a bald head. Girl, I got the egghead. I got an egghead. No, it ain't gonna work for me. So I wanted to, the fact that you're a cancer advocate, yes, you did not have cancer, but you're advocating, for your friend and you're speaking up for people who can't speak. You established the organization because of your personal experience that transpired between you and your bestie, as I would like to say. So I'm not going to steal your thunder. I want you to talk about the organization. Tell us a little bit about who you are because I am so touched by your story. I'm so touched by your friendship. When they talk about women don't work together, they don't support each other. Baby, if you're going to shave your head, I don't know what is empowering.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much, my sister, for having me here. And it's a blessing to be here. Yes, 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 it's true. I am Vernitta Rose Love. Ball Nation rocks against cancer, and I am a cancer advocate, and that is my calling. It took me 60 years. I'll be 60 October 29th of this year, and it took me 60 years to figure out my real purpose and my calling for what God would have me to do with the remainder moving forward of my life.
No, go ahead because I want to say something to you. Some people never know what their calling is until they go to the graveyard or they're laying in that bed. So, my sister, you're 60 years young. You hear me? You're not a senior citizen, you're a seasoned citizen, baby.
I love it.
So, tell us more because you're fabulous. Tell us more about yourself.
So, what happened in 2019? I was working for the government. I spent 39 plus years with the government. I'm retired military, 27 years. And I was going into my second phase, third phase, fourth phase of life as far as working was concerned. And my plan was to travel around the world and hang out in Cuba and hang out with my Cuban family
Well,
members.
my people. Okay, my
I was
people.
just going to enjoy life.
Okay.
And so my friend, dearest friend, we've been friends for over 15 years. She was diagnosed with cancer. And so I would go and sit with her, talk with her, spend time with her. And then one day there was a small window, and her husband said, yeah, she's here in the house. You can come and visit her. And she came down the stairs. And as we all do, we always have different girlfriends,
Right.
hats or whatever. And she came down with a hat on. And she said, Rosie, she said, and she's Jamaican. So she had her little accent, and she said, Rosie, I lost my hair. And I'm thinking, well, okay, let's go and find it, right? And she said, no, I lost my hair. I woke up this morning and it was smooth. And I said, well, you are beautiful. You look absolutely beautiful. And that came from my belly. It didn't just come from my mouth. It didn't come from my first thought. It came from my belly. And she started laughing. And my dearest friend, she has the biggest laugh and the biggest smile. And I said, you look beautiful. And so her laughter was my healing serum. Hearing her laugh was healing for me. I don't know what her laughter did for her, but what it did for me, it was like soothing because I could feel her pain losing her hair. So we talked and we had tea, and she's always in the kitchen. She can cook the best oxtails off. She's the best cook in the world, okay? She's the best. So anyway, after our visit, I went home and I couldn't get to the door fast enough because I just started crying. I just broke down and I just had a moment because I was like, what do I do for my friend? You know, when your friend is going through something, you want to help. You want to do whatever you can to help them. So I prayed about it and I got up off my face and got myself together and I looked at myself in the mirror and God spoke to me. He spoke to me. He said, shave. So I called my barber. I said, hey, Craig, I want to shave. I want to really shave my head. I want to really go bald. And he was like, okay, well, let me schedule an appointment. You can get over here. And I was like, no, I need to do this like right now. And, you know, I couldn't get to him fast enough. So I called another guy friend of mine. I said, how do I make myself bald? And so, you know, he said, this is what you do. And so I put the cream on my head and it all ate off my hair. I went and washed it off. And I came back and looked in the mirror. It's nothing like life when you can laugh at yourself, right?
Yes.
I looked at myself and I said, ah, I'm bald. And right then, God spoke to me and he said, it is not about you. It is not about you. And I got myself together and I said, okay, it's not about me. And I got back to the real reason for shaving. And I called my girlfriend and I put her on the phone and I said, Passy, look. And she looked, she said, you did that? I said, yeah. And I said, I can't let you be beautiful by yourself. And she had the biggest laugh ever. And that's what we need. Laughter sets off the endorphins and it makes you feel better. And if you can do something to make someone else feel better, that's what you do. And from there, about 3 weeks after that, going to sleep at night, asking God, what would you have me to do other than shaving? And he spoke to me like Moses, speaking to Moses on the mountain, right? He said, you know, bald nation. Did a little research. Okay, somebody had bald nation. Bald nation rocks. Somebody had bald nation. Okay, bald nation rocks against cancer because that's what we gonna do. We gonna rock this XOXO and we gonna kick butt. And that's how Bald Nation Rocks Against Cancer came
You
about.
know, I love your story because it shows me so many things. It speaks on so many levels: empathy, compassion, love of yourself, love of your sister, love of God. And everything starts with love.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you're showing this woman, and it's, I'm telling you, Jamaican and Cuban, that's me, and she's Jamaican, you know? But what that is showing one and everyone out there, we don't have to worry about those women who, you know, because right now in society and on Fifth Avenue, you have to have the BBL, you have to have the tiny waist, you have to be slim thick, you have to, it's just way too much, way too much.
It's
You
over.
have to come as you are. It's over. And think about this. You're putting her in a headspace as, you know, and I forever love you for that because she's Jamaican. And I'm telling you, it's like right here. We're told so many different things as women, not like men. We have to look a certain way, we have to talk a certain way, we have to dress a certain way. So now when you get that diagnosis and then your hair starts to fall, so many things is going through your mind, so many things, the pride, the ego, and if you're married or if you're dating someone or just things like that, or your children, so let me throw on my hat or throw on a wig or throw on. So you allowed her to see, baby, you're fabulous, but you know what, you ain't gonna be fabulous by yourself. We're gonna ride this
We're
together.
going to do this together. We're going
So
to do this together, and we're going to fight this thing. And today, she is doing very well.
good.
She's rung the bell. She's had her surgeries, and she's doing fine. She has a hair full of hair, and mine won't grow back.
But see, and maybe it's a good thing, because
Yeah.
think about the name of your company. So now all of a sudden you're gonna have a head full of hair, and they're gonna like, well, wait a minute, well, I was born. So I'm telling you, when God does put you through things, or He does it for you, not to you. So it came out good. So we tell us a little bit more about the organization. I know you're an advocate for, but what else does it do?
And let me just say this before we move into that. Your hair is not you. Your hair is not you, ladies. And more women are finding that out in many different ways other than just cancer. Cancer, with cancer, you don't always lose your hair. But in
Mhm.
some cases, depending on the type of treatment that you undergo, that might be one of the results of it. So, with that, it brings on the uncertainties. And so, Bald Nation Rocks Against Cancer, we wanted to address those things. We wanted to address the uncertainties of cancer, some of the things that women go through, the fight against it, not knowing what to do, where to go, who to talk to. So, our services encompasses all of that, the whole woman from the top of her head to the sole of her feet. And so, our services consist of, we have peer to peer, where we link up survivors with women who are newly diagnosed so that they can have someone to call and just ask those questions that they might not know to ask their physician, or the questions that they might get from their families, or even just bringing up the conversation with family and loved ones. Because, our families sometimes are not our best advocate, unfortunately, and it's true. Most of the women that I have spoken to, they say, my family was the worst people to talk to. And so I want to share, family, do your best to be the best support you can for your loved ones when they receive that diagnosis, and just be there to support them. Sometimes it requires you saying nothing,
Mhm. Mhm.
because once we let those words out, we can't take them back. Okay, so sometimes it's just being there for them, holding their hand, letting them know we're gonna kick butt. We're about to kick butt here. Our next services is a path to health, which is a support group. We call it Comfort Tea. We have Comfort Tea every month, every fourth Thursday. And we come together with a licensed counselor, therapist, and we just talk. Just women, family members, and we just talk about whatever. We don't always talk about cancer, but we just talk about life. And right now, we're about to complete our 100 days of summer, where we just journaled. We journaled digitally, um, virtually, writing down or whatever, recording, taking pictures, whatever. And we're going to share that on tomorrow night. And one of our recipients who actually journaled their 100 days, they receive a wonderful gift bag from us. And then our next service is prepared meals. We have a wonderful chef who delivers meals after a hospital stay, and he is awesome. He cooks all type of nutritious meals to your liking, and he delivers them. And then our next service is Rnr Therapy. We call it Resilience and Restoration Therapy. That consists of hair restoration, nails. Our cancer, when they go through chemo, they lose their nail beddings and everything like that. Their skin dries up and becomes very flaky. Uh, Sometimes they might need a spa treatment. They might need a massage,
Mhm.
a foot detox, aromatherapy, a yoga session, or whatever. we supply that for them. Then our next, we have a medical transport where we schedule, they will call us and we arrange a transportation for them to get to their appointments. No cost, no cost to our recipients. And then we have what is our spiritual connection. Every Wednesday, 7 a.m., we have our prayer call. And we have women from all over the US that come together. They call in at 7 a.m. It starts out with a commentary about whatever God brings to my mind, whatever he gives me. And I ask him every Wednesday morning, Lord, what can I serve? What can I do to tell the people today? And he gives it to me. And I just speak right off. It's nothing planned, it's nothing written down or anything. He just gives it to me. And I give it to them the way he gives it to me. And then we have a women's confession that we recite over ourselves, and that's. And then we also do cancer awareness. So
And I like, because for me, I can honestly say that, I didn't have any family members who had cancer. So I was, naive, didn't know. And I met this beautiful spirit by the name of Pam Eaton. She has since passed. Beautiful soul. She introduced me to a cancer organization, an outreach organization, and I'm on the governing board of that. And we would go in and do things for the women. But I'm saying this to say I had no clue, talking to the women how they felt, and some of them like, stop asking like how you doing, or it's, we're friends now. Why are you not calling me? The minute you hear that I have cancer, it's like I have leprosy. Pick up the phone and have those conversations, just to say hello. You know, or ask me if you want me to say anything. Ask me if I want you to say anything. So that place has helped me grow tremendously as a person, not just being empathetic because, yeah, oh, you have cancer. I'm so sorry. Now I see the other side, from diagnosed to going through treatment and to some who have passed and gone on. Because I didn't expect I would feel that way, because I fell in love with the community. I didn't know I would feel that way. So when, the first funeral and the second and the third, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so attached. But, and that's what I want people to understand, that we have to see how we can help. No matter, it's not too big, it's not too small. Maybe if it's a ride, or hey, I'm going to the grocery store, do you need anything? So, and I say this over and over again. I even have that as a hashtag, and they have it out there. Cancer freaking sucks. It sucks. And now that we have COVID, it's worse, because when you have to do that isolation, you can't go out and do your meetings, or yes, you can do the face thing, but for some people, they need to be in the same room to touch, to hug, to smile with people, so it messes. So the next step is the mental, you know.
exactly, exactly. And we have a wonderful therapist that addresses that issue. Last month, it's been a couple of months. I'm sorry, where we went through Mental Health Month. We're in September now. I believe that was March. But anyway, we went through Mental Health Month, and we addressed the mental health of just dealing with cancer, COVID, having to communicate virtually, texting, calling, not being able to touch one another, reach out to one another. It does have a tremendous effect on your mental health. And that's why it's really important to pick up the phone. Just, I have an old school landline. Yes, I do. People say, why do you keep this phone? I've had the same phone number for the past 27 years. It is important to not text, but to just pick up the phone and say that old Stevie Wonder song, hello, I just called to say I love you. And that right there means the world to so many people. You don't know, by just picking up the phone and just saying, I just called to say I love you, stop someone from committing suicide, stop someone from jumping off the bridge or hurting someone else. You just don't know, by picking up the phone, what it does and how it changes people's lives.
We have to start tapping into people, because I think now that COVID, people feel comfortable walking and moving around. Because when we had COVID, people were picking up the phone and just having conversations, not seeing each other. But now that COVID is in some cases more relaxed in other people's minds, it's almost like people are still going back to that selfish, it's all about me, or yeah, that was great, so I don't need to do all of that. So here's a question. Let's say President Biden is watching this show and he says, you know what, I'm liking that this Vernitta Love lady. I want to donate. I want to give her 10. I want to give her $5 million for her organization. What would be the first thing you would do?
The first thing I would do is say thank you. Thank you to all the women that need help. I didn't understand how great the need was until I got into this business. I knew nothing about cancer until I actually got into this business and started communicating with others. And then I would say, thank you, Mr. Biden. And I would give him our website, which is BNRAC.org. And you can go through our website and make the donation. We also have a tribute wall where you can make a dedication to a loved one who is currently going through cancer, or uh, is a survivor, or someone who has lost their fight. And we have a beautiful wall of doves, and we implant their names on that wall. And so the funds that comes to our organization, it goes straight to the services that we provide to these women. These women, let me say, I call our warriors. They are women of strength, inspiration, resilience, and restoration. And these women are strong women. Our purpose and what God has called us to do, I would say to Mr. Biden, is to speak life into them. God has made each and every individual on this earth a speaking spirit. So the words you say to yourself and to others breathes life. And so we choose life. We choose to fight.
What would be, with saying that, where would you like to see your company in, say, 3 years? You have two choices, two answers.
I would like to, I prayed a recent prayer and I asked God to expand my territory, throughout Cobb County, Paulding, Pickens, Bartow, um, Douglas, the counties that we serve, to expand it throughout Georgia so that we can reach so many women. And then also to increase to chapters throughout this nation where others in other states can pick up Bald Nation Rocks Against Cancer and carry this fight on. And then I would also love to, I know you said too, right?
No,
Okay.
yet no. Where? Okay, so if someone's
I would love to
watching
see the
this,
cure. I would love to see the cure for cancer,
huh,
because
yeah.
that millions of dollars that Mr. Biden would donate to our organization, I would definitely want to see research for a cure for cancer. If we can come up with a cure for COVID or a vaccine for COVID and some of these other diseases, viruses, HIV, and all of that, we can definitely come up with something for cancer.
What has been starting this organization? What has been the most memorable thing that has happened with one of your warriors? That when it happened, you're like, and you still think about that pleasant moment to this day. The first one that really touched you to say, damn, I'm making a difference.
It's been a few,
The
but
first one, the first
the
one.
first one, ringing the bell. The first time I heard one of our warriors ring the bell, uh, that really kind of solidified everything that we do as this organization to help them. And just hearing the bell ring is huge.
So since you said it's huge, and so what would you like, someone's watching right now, what would you like the takeaway to be?
If someone is watching, the takeaway that I hope they would have is that there is help out there and that cancer is not a death sentence. There is help out here for you. There is life after the word see. And there are organizations such as Bald Nation Rocks Against Cancer that are here to help and support you, and not only you, but your family, your caregivers.
And that's what people need to know, because so often the caregivers are exhausted and they feel guilty by saying that they're exhausted because they're not going through treatment. And we also have to give it up for these caregivers, the husbands, the wives, the children, the next door neighbor, such as yourself, we, friends, family. We have to give it up to them, because that's a, you can say thank you, but when it comes to your time and talents, it's never enough. And I'm telling you, I've seen someone practically come this close to a nervous breakdown because they were taking care of a sick mom and a sick spouse. It's exhausting.
I have a family member currently that the wife was diagnosed with cancer. She's going through treatment. A couple of months later, the husband is diagnosed with cancer.
Ooh.
The husband is diagnosed with cancer, and then one of the children are diagnosed with cancer. So at times it could be a rippling effect.
Mm-hmm.
And we need people to understand that there is help. There are services out here for you. There is support.
Exactly. We're going to have to bring you back on, because we're going to be doing some shows where we're going to have panels of people with their cancer organizations to come out and just have conversations, because one organization may not be doing what you're doing and the other one. And I think that's so important that we all, because I'm all about collaborating. I'm all about, because I'm known as a master networker. I'm all about connecting the dots, because that's what should be connected, because at the end of the day, there's room for everybody. There's room for everybody. And that's what I want women to understand. It's not like, oh my God, let me hold it here. What you're doing is you're blocking your blessing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And yes, Bald Nation Rocks Against Cancer, we have a list of services. Yes, we do. And we try to provide as much, we try to meet the need of our warriors. However, there are some things that we just don't do.
Mm-hmm.
And until God gets us there, because we're a really new organization, we've been stood up for 1 year now, but we are growing and we are expanding. But until God gets us there, there's other organizations, and we have a list of resources that if we don't provide that service, there's loving arms, and there's so many
Yes.
other
Mm-hmm.
organizations out there that can meet your need, and and they're waiting for that phone call from you.
And that's the organization I'm on their board. But like I said, we just need to stamp cancer out.
Mhm.
We need to, because I remember back in the day when I was a little kid, I think it was, I don't know if it was Betty Ford, or I don't know if it was Betty Ford. It was one of the presidents. Their
Mhm.
wife had breast cancer. I don't know if it was Nixon's wife, had cancer. And it was almost like you don't say anything. You keep it quiet. It was embarrassing. Now, when you have a mastectomy, you can, it's okay if you don't actually have the reconstructive surgery. You're seeing the scars, loving the scars. And we need to get back, because we have to love our body. Yes, you may feel like your body betrayed you for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, if you wake up every morning 6 feet above ground,
Amen.
you're winning. You're winning. Okay.
I have a young lady, 23 years old, has cancer, and she's going to the beach. And her goal is to wear her two-piece. And I say, you wear your two-piece. I spent 20 plus years in the military, and we have scars, internal, external,
Yes.
mental, and all otherwise. And I shared with that young lady, you wear your two-piece. And the scars that you have, you walk with pride because you are a warrior. You are a soldier fighting against the battle of cancer. And you walk, and no matter what anyone thinks about you, you let them know, hey, I am a soldier. and I'm
You
fighting
earn
my
those
own war,
stripes.
and I earned it. And you walk with pride, and you walk with your head up.
Mhm.
You lift your head and you walk with your head up and be the woman that God has called you to be. And so this is what another takeaway that I would love for women to understand. You are strong, you are a conqueror, and you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you.
That's
Philippians.
right. That's right.
You can do all things through Christ which strengthens you. You just have to tap into your faith. Tap into your faith in God or your supreme being. Tap into your faith, and He will give you the resilience and the strength that you need to carry this thing through until your healing.
And to see you have the name love in your, that's your name. Just I mean, come on. Think about it. Think about what God has. See, He put you here. We definitely want to bring you on because we've been talking to women from the military. I like interviewing women from the military that were in the military and retired because there's so much unpacking that people have no idea. So let me say this to you. I'm a firm believer in giving people their roses, not when they're gone, but when they're in front of me. First of all, I want to thank you for serving. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing all because you're allowing, because you served, I'm allowed to do this, okay? Because you fought for my freedom, whether there was a war or not, the fact that you were in the military. So I want to thank you, my sister, for serving. Thank you for coming out with that service attitude, that spirit. So not only did you serve there, you're serving civilians. So you were serving for civilians anyway, but now you're doing it on another level. So you serve for our freedom. Now you're serving for survival. Ooh, yes. So,
To God be the glory. To God be the glory.
yes. My
Because there's nothing that I would have been able to accomplish or do on my own. And I I always keep that in mind. Every day that I wake up, I'm humbled
yes,
for what God has called me to do. And our
exactly.
organization, we strive for excellent customer service and service to our warriors. And so this is what we are called to do. This is our purpose. And we operate out of honesty and transparency and integrity because this is what God called us to do. And we are very pleased to be able to carry it through.
And we're proud of you for doing what you're doing. And you're a fellow Cobb County person like me. So I just want to thank you again, for just coming on, Vernita Rose Love, just coming on and talking about BNRAC. I just love it. I just love the BR. I just love it. Bald Nation Rocks Against Cancer. I just love it. I love
We're
it.
rocking. We're rocking.
Yes, and we're going to continue to get some updates from you, what's going on, and we're going to pass it out, to people when they're asking questions because we're going to edit this and also it's live, but we're also going to edit it and load it and share it through various social media, settings and things like that. But I want to thank you for being such a great guest. I want to thank you. Well, you're not guest, your family now. I want to thank you for being a part of the Women Are Worthy Network. Please make sure you subscribe to our network on YouTube. Have a wonderful day. We're going to bring you back on, but again, you have my number. Please call me. We're here because we're here to service as well. Make the connections, connect people, and just love on people. And you kick some booty, honey. I was going to say a word, but you kick some booty, honey. We appreciate it. And thank you. And we want everyone, don't forget to subscribe to the Women Are Worthy Network. Don't forget to subscribe to us, to follow us on Instagram is the Women Are Worthy Show. Reach out to us at womenareworthy@gmail.com. So we want everyone to have a terrific Tuesday, a wonderful Wednesday, thoughtful Thursday, fabulous Friday, soothing Saturday. And for Sunday, it's like a sizzling Sunday because then you got to get ready to come back to work on Monday. Okay? That's what we want you to do. So thank you, my sister. I love you and I appreciate you.
It was a blessing to be with you this evening, and we're glad to be back again.
We're going to connect again. We're going to connect, okay?
Thank
Bye,
you.
my sister.